hot. Get that mouse over the pad. Put it in, click it, and say yeah. Now I'm on letsmindtravel.com. All this merch looks so bomb. And then maybe I want to hear some grooves, some tunes from Animal Planet. For you. That got kind of weird. I have to admit, me freestyling more, you would think it'd be getting better. However, it just feels like we're falling into a funner rhythm of things as opposed to me progressing the talent, which is okay. I did see that a few of you guys commented that you enjoyed it, so I figured I would start the podcast off with this. And even if it was just one person telling me that they liked it, that wouldn't be enough. I would probably not do it anymore. I would think of a better use of 1 minute or so. But I've seen at least 3 people talk about the freestyles. It means the world to me, guys. You don't even know what it's doing for me. I'm walking around feeling different. I'm saying thank you to people I wouldn't have said thank you to before. I'm saying please. I'm doing all kinds of stuff differently. And it's really all because of you. And I want to thank you for that. So again, I kind of melded it into the freestyle. But this is episode 3. And one thing that I added to all the descriptions is I realized I was being kind of lazy with it. I'm already being lazy enough just literally recording for 15 minutes and uploading it. But I hadn't put any kind of links in the description. So if you guys want to check out the Instagram, it was all on you. You had to go. You had to type in the letters. You might have spelled it wrong. Don't worry, though. The link is now in the description for my Instagram. Also, for my website, letsmindtravel.com. I got some cool merch, all with artwork that I did myself. So it's all original, rad stuff. And then me and my good buddy Eddie Booz are working on a music project called Animal Planet. Very different, very cool shit. I highly recommend you check it out. And there's a link to that as well. We try to upload 1 song a month with a podcast companion as well as a music video. We're kind of working on a big project right now for the album. So it's derailed us a little bit schedule-wise. But it's okay. It's going to come out eventually and you guys will be stoked. Nothing tastes better than food when you're extremely hungry, right? So what we're doing here is we're making you really, really hungry. So by the time we give you the food, it's just more mouthwatering than you can ever imagine. Look at me trying to put a positive twist on procrastination. But so yesterday in episode 2, I went over some questions from Simi Tara. I figured it would just be a boom, boom, boom. However, she asked great questions. They took a while to answer. So I wasn't able to get to a few of the others I wanted to do, as well as some topics. So I might as well just hurry up and get into it because I'm wasting time now. But so the next question I got is from Chim04. I don't know your real name, so I don't know if you wanted me to say that name. I'm sorry if you wanted to stay anonymous, Chim, but now we're out in the open with it. And you asked, what do you think about online dating? I don't really think online dating is the most negative thing in the world. I don't think it's ruined how people form relationships, anything like that. I think it's a great tool that, if used properly, can aid you very well in finding a significant other. And I say that because online dating, of course, like anything, has its traps. You got catfishing. With AI these days, you might be talking to someone who isn't even real, that is just set up by a bot. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's crazy because it might make you feel satisfied to a degree. And it's gnarly to think that AI would be able to tap into the point of making a human feel connection, but it's getting there, right? So online dating does have its worries when I really analyze it. But I think if you're just looking to meet somebody, and it's hard out there, going to the grocery store, like everyone says, you're going to meet the love of your life at the fucking grocery store. And I haven't really heard anyone telling me that story yet. But if you just want to go there, you want to peruse your options, you want to use a site that's kind of tailored to maybe some of your interest or anything like that. And I'm not overly familiar with online dating, guys. I've never done it myself, so I'm coming from a slight place of ignorance. But I think it's all about the intention. I think if you're going in there and you're looking for someone to build a life with, I think the first and most important thing is to be completely honest with your profile. Don't try to bullshit nobody, because after a couple weeks, sometimes it takes a couple years, you really get to know the real individual that you're with, because we try really hard in the beginning. We try to make it work, and we try to be our best, and we just want that other person to think the world of us. So we put up this wall of perfection, and we're not vulnerable at times, or for the most part. So just be very honest. Try to avoid the whole bullshit cycle that happens in the beginning of relationships when people are trying to be their best selves and it's unrealistic. And just be open. And hopefully you'll find somebody that's putting the same energy out there. But I would say use it as a tool, but also know that in real life, there's a tool of just meeting people in physical environments. Maybe if you're into art, go to art shows. If you're into anything else, just find a group, find a class, find something where you could be around like-minded individuals, and then at least you got one thing in common, right? Or just see somebody at the grocery store and say, damn, you look good, let's get married. Maybe that will work as well. So let's one more question here, because I do have a few topics I want to get into, and it's not even a question, Jamie W91. It's not even a question. It's just conspiracy, exclamation point, any and all. And then it's kind of odd because then you did a space and then an exclamation point. So that's new. I didn't know how to read that exactly. But it sounds like you're very excited about me to talk about any kind of a conspiracy. So what I'm going to do for you is hit you with one of my favorites that's very relevant to right now, because the government is talking about UFOs and all this stuff. And I think the majority of people at this point in time understand that there's life on another planet somewhere, but it's about what is their perception of that life. And the government, they make it seem kind of scary, And Project Bluebeam, I don't even know if I've said it yet, guys, but Project Bluebeam is the conspiracy that I'm going to talk about, with the end goal of the theory being the government is going to plan a fake invasion on all of the people of the planet, because nothing will unify us more than a threat that threatens all of our humanity. So they're going to do something to get us all on the same page, and then they're going to just ultimately control us from that point. And just like the movies you see, which actually I'm not going to say yet because it's part of the steps of the theory, but let me get to that. So Project Bluebeam, it starts off with the unearthing of a monument that is going to change the perception of life as we know it. And this initial theory was presented in the early 90s, maybe 90, 91. And it seemed as though it was pointing to maybe somewhere in like Egypt or somewhere where there's archaeologists digging. They're going to find a record, and this record is going to tell us all the truth, which didn't happen. If anything, I believe they burned the libraries of Alexandria that hold most of the information that we all wish we knew. Another theory, another time. But what did happen in the early 90s is our discovery of planets outside of our own solar system. Now, why would that change our understanding of life? It means that space is infinite. We are just on a small rock flying through it, and there is significance to it, of course, but it's vast, endless, ever expanding, and it's not just these 9 planets with stars that are our own little solar system. So that's something that did happen that I would say, if anything, shows that phase 1 is underway. The next phase was going to be use the media to familiarize the people with certain threats. And in the early 90s, you see movies like Independence Day, Mars Attacks, Deep Impact, I believe, is one of them. And all of these deal with either UFOs or some kind of a threat from outer space. So here is now the media getting us familiar. Because if I were to ask anybody on the planet right now, probably, except for maybe an indigenous tribe in Australia somewhere, what a spaceship looks like and what it would look like if UFOs were to get out of it, they would all probably draw a flying saucer, that beam of light coming down the middle, and all of that good stuff, right? So now the whole planet is on the same page. We think about aliens in this sense. They put the image in our heads, and it's kind of scary. I don't think anyone, when they talk about an alien abduction, is saying, yeah, it was rad. They came to my crib, they abducted me. We went to the skate park and they wanted to check out my kick flips and fucking do some threes and shove it's. No, it's usually they came into my bed at night. It was fucking terrifying. They stuck shit in my butt. They took something out of me. They left something in me, and I'm traumatized for the rest of my life. I actually do know a lady who claims she's been abducted twice and has wrote books about it. I said I know her. She's a neighbor of my dad that actually moved a couple years back. So I'm going to find out her name, and I'm going to talk about it in the next episode, and you guys can go check out her book. But so alien abductions, all these stories that we hear make the majority of us terrified. When I was younger, my mom and dad would make us go to church on Sundays, and I was terrified of aliens, but I was so bored being at church because I wasn't really understanding the moment yet that I would actually pray and say, God, if aliens are real, just let them abduct me for the next hour. If they're not real, don't have them abduct me. And, I do that almost every Sunday, and they never abducted me, guys. So I don't know if you want to use that in how you feel about aliens, but it was just a fun little story. Moving along. The next step in Project Bluebeam is going to be they're going to start putting projections into the sky that look like real imagery, and they're going to start testing this kind of technology. Now, at one point, there was like a fake city in the sky in China. There's a lot of conspiracies about certain attacks being holographic and things being projected into the sky. So I would say that if we haven't seen it yet, the probabilities of it being a possibility that the government can actually do right now, highly likely. The next step, I believe, which would be 4, is to start telling all the people on Earth that aliens are going to come or something is about to attack us. They're going to actually use these projections in the sky to appear as whatever religious icon you believe in. And if you don't believe in any, there'll be another way for them to transmit information to you in the sky and whatever language you speak in. And in order for them to do all this, they really had to get inside the minds of everyone on the planet, and they have to understand each individual so they could project the right information to you. And the way that evidently has been done is through Google. So now anyone that has a phone, you're basically giving the government or whoever is looking through the phone, the elites, whoever control the world, all the information they would ever want or need about you directly to them. So if you have a phone, they know everything about you, and they know what language you speak. They know what religion you are. They know your fears, your hopes, your dreams, and they're going to use all that against you. I hate to tell you, but that's the plan here. And then the very last step of this is going to be finally the alien invasion or whatever threat it is. They're going to tell people that the only way to survive is going to be to get on either these ships or to go to these secluded areas. They're going to start building underground bunkers, and then boom, the whole planet is going to get attacked. And it just like one of the movies, The Day After Tomorrow, or I forgot what the other one is called, but there's another one with a similar plot. It's going to be like that. The elites will be saved, and everyone else is going to be scrambling for their lives, going into underground bunkers, so forth and so on. And then from underground, we're going to hear the attacks. Now, my theory is nuclear weapons are just going to be going off. Nuclear bombs are going to be going off because if you're underground, you can't see what's going on. And they're just going to set off all the nuclear bombs on the planet and then pretty much reset the whole Earth. So maybe 50 years later from that, they're going to tell us all that the radiation is going to be too much for anyone to be exposed to for the next 200 years on the planet. So nobody will go to the actual surface. We'll all die off underground. They'll seal up all the chambers, and then they'll just restart things. So that was it. That was the conspiracy. Very lighthearted, very fun. So you got a freestyle. You got some new links in the description. You got a conspiracy. And I think there was one other question. Oh, online dating. We talked about online dating. So that's going to be pretty much it, guys. These episodes are flying, but again, there's no ads. I don't want you to have to listen to more than 15 minutes. Perfect for a break. Hope you're enjoying them. Hope everything about them is great to you. If not, make sure you comment, like with all your channels, subscribe, all that good stuff. Have a great rest of your day.